Hey, this is Kevin, the Paracordist. I am about to do a series of videos trying to respond to a lot of requests I've had from people asking how to do a long Turks head knot, like that which I use to wrap the handle of a knife or a hatchet. So I'm going to take this Fiskars hatchet project from the start and show you how to do a Turks head, a long Turks head with 3 turns. The process that I'm going to describe to you and teach you applies to a Turks head of any number of turns, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, doesn't matter. I'm going to show you some simple rules that apply so you don't have to remember any kind of formulas or patterns in order to do a custom wrap for your own. So with that, let me get started here and show you how to set up the hatchet, in this case for a 3-turn Turks head. I do want to show you the reference for this, where I learned from. It's quite a bit harder to follow, I think, in this book than it would be for you to follow my videos. But this is a Handbook of Knots and Splices by Gibson. It's out of print. This was given to me by my grandfather. But you can get this book from scribd.com by PDF, so you can download it. Go to page, that would be page 109, and there's instructions for a long Turks head. So some of the things I'm going to show you here are my translation of this information, but once you get the idea from me, if you need to go back, get this book and read this section. This also is the Turks head using a pegboard or a former, which is what I showed in one of my other videos. So let's get to it. Okay, the first thing I want to do, which is a relatively new step for me, is increase the amount of friction on the existing handle, which is very slippery. I've decided to do this on my last project based on a recommendation from my father, who is an electrician. He suggested I use friction tape. It's very similar to hockey tape, so I'm imagining you could get hockey tape in a sports store. It'd be the same thing. I got this from the electrician's aisle, electrical aisle in the local hardware store. So I'm going to take this friction tape and I'm going to wrap the handle with it, and that's going to form the foundation for my knot. Okay, 2 things done here. I've applied the friction tape, as you can see. A good tacky foundation for the knot. And I've also taped up the blade. Very, very important step. The last thing you want to do is cut yourself while you're working with the hatchet. Oh, thank you, baby. Okay, hold on. Okay, next step is to install pegs. Pegs will mark our turns and make sure the knot comes out perfectly uniform. I'm doing a 3-turn Turks head, so I need 3 pegs on each side, and I want them evenly spaced around the diameter of the wrap. Now, the way I'm going to accomplish this is by using these paper clips. I'm going to have 3 pegs on each side, and for reasons you'll understand in a little bit, I want them to be color-coded. Basically, for every peg on the left, I want the opposing or opposite peg on the right-hand side to have the same color. So the way I do the pegs very simply with the paper clips is I take the paper clip and I bend up the piece. See that? Now I'm going to take that from my first peg. I'm going to stick it on here. I'm going to bend it so it forms or sits on here a little bit better. Okay? And then I'm going to tape it. Tape it on here. All I need is something when the cord comes around to wrap around. So I'm going to do that. A red one I did up here. That means I'm going to do a red one on the opposite side here. And then I'm going to place the rest of the pegs. Okay, the pegs are in, and I want to make note that this is one of the most important steps that you do properly. If you want to have a professional, even, uniform look to the knot when you're done, you want to make sure that your pegs are evenly spaced around the diameter on one end as well as the other end. And then also, you need to make sure that each peg that you have has an opposing peg on the other side. As I mentioned before, I do this by color. So I've got green here, corresponds to the green here. Then I've got the red right on the top, the red right on the bottom. The next here is my blue, which has an opposing blue on this side. We're going to start the knot in a moment, and that's when you'll see how these colors come into play.